Lewis Hamilton is already being looked into by FIA chiefs after an incident on Thursday at the British Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton has been warned by officials ahead of the British Grand Prix after a meeting Mercedes bosses ahead of FP1. Hamilton is in hot water after turning up late to Thursday's press conference. The seven-time champion was not in his place at the start of the conference and arrived a few minutes later whilst Alex Albon was being interviewed. Hamilton coolly sat in his place and began answering questions, but the move did not go unnoticed. Mercedes team representatives were called into race control to explain themselves with a meeting set for 11:15 a.m. this morning. Hamilton was eventually handed a reprimand with chiefs warning further penalties could be awarded for a similar infringement in the future. The Silver Arrows blamed Silverstone's packed paddock behind his late arrival. The team representative noted that his driver's schedule was controlled by the team, and given that this was his home race, the schedule was extremely busy. In addition, it is difficult for Hamilton to move through the paddock. While the stewards understand this to be the case, it is also true that this is an activity required by the regulations, that late attendance is disruptive to the press conference, and that there is significant interest by the media in talking to the drivers whose access is limited. The stewards considered that these activities on Thursday of the race weekend are different than pre-race activities which have an effect on the flow of the competition and can provide an advantage to a driver's preparation. Activities on Thursday are generally organized by the teams and the drivers follow the instructions of their team coordinators. Therefore, the stewards determined that the most appropriate penalty was to the team rather than to the driver. As some leeway has been given previously, the stewards consider a reprimand to the team to be appropriate, with the warning that further penalties may be considered in case of repetition. The incident was barely mentioned on F1's official television coverage of the press conference. Interviewer Tom Clarkson simply stated that viewers would be joined very shortly by Lewis Hamilton. When the 38-year-old arrived, Hamilton also didn't offer an explanation, with Clarkson going on to ask the former champion about his record at Silverstone. In a similar incident, Sebastian Vettel was handed a £21,000 €25,000 fine after he walked out of the driver's briefing at last year's Austrian Grand Prix. Hamilton appeared optimistic as he explained Mercedes would have new upgrades this weekend. The Silver Arrows took a step back in Austria after Ferrari and McLaren introduced new parts in Spielberg. He added, "It is taking longer for all of us to get to where we want to be, and it's definitely not easy, but I believe that we will get there. We've just got to continue to work and chip away at it, and that's what we're trying to do. We have a new front wing, so it's just one step, hopefully further in the right direction."